Headline: The great commercial secret of Benfotiamine kills millions. So, how on earth can this be? 3.5 million people die annually of diabetic neuropathy, that is, diabetic beriberi, the same death rate as AIDS. And it's totally preventable and reversible with a virtually unknown commercially secret vitamin, benfotiamine, fat-soluble thiamine. Benfotiamine produces significant diabetic neuropathy reversal in just 4 to 7 days, and complete reversal in several months. Prescription medicine in Germany for 30 years, since 1978, but mysteriously unknown outside Germany, certainly not in English-speaking doctors' drug catalogues, nor any medical textbook or vitamin book. Here is a vital component of the scheme of things. Obvious question: why has it never been published in doctors' drug catalogues all over the English-speaking world? Easy to verify: simply search an Anglo country by name, say UK, followed by prescription neuropathy treatment, and one finds there is no actual treatment for diabetic neuropathy, only painkillers which are off-label anti-convulsants and anti-epileptic drugs, etc. Benfotiamine is conspicuous by its absence. Repeat this search in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, etc. Same result: no actual cure for life-threatening neuropathy, but expensive pain-killing drugs so toxic, the authorities advise people to juggle them continuously to evade the serious side effects. These off-label drugs also have a very high profit margin, far more than any vitamin. So that's what Big Pharma wants you to take, of course, to earn them billions. Wait, it gets more sinister. The search has been repeated in the Spanish-speaking world and got the same result: no cheap benfotiamine cure for diabetic neuropathy in doctors' drug catalogues. So the simple knowledge of this life-saving vitamin, unknown in the greater world, is firewalled solely inside the German language, which is the home of Big Pharma, like Pfizer for example, which educates doctors all over the world and writes the drug catalogues for them, finances all the medical schools etc. globally. Part of the Standard Oil Rockefeller chemical and oil empire, which controls the medical curriculums everywhere, and mostly controls what turns up in mainstream media, the MSM. 3.5 million people die unnecessarily of diabetic neuropathy annually, equaling the death toll of AIDS. For decades, these suffering diabetics are told by duped doctors there is no cure for diabetic neuropathy, really just diabetic beriberi. And Big Pharma, through their local doctors, can only supply painkillers of the most expensive kind. It's essentially callous terrorism to make people compliant taking their diabetic medications, that in many cases just don't work. About 50% of diabetics, no matter how much they comply through terror, taking medications, then insulin injections, still get diabetic neuropathy. Big Pharma's own figures: their feet rot off, they go blind etc. and die, their lives significantly shortened, and the list includes psychosis and dementia, ultimately. And German Big Pharma produces the antidote, benfotiamine. It's prescription medication in Germany, and has been for 30 years. It quietly and very cheaply reverses diabetic neuropathy. So this is obviously a commercial secret that earns Big Pharma tens of billions. Medicating a slowly dying patient for decades earns far more money than simply curing them with a vitamin in a couple of weeks. The U.S. market alone is worth $240 billion annually. Clearly Big Pharma doesn't want to cure diabetes, neuropathy. It's a massive cash flow out of the U.S. into German Big Pharma, so great it has even alarmed the Pentagon. So you can do the arithmetic: 30 years and own cheap effective cure, withheld, while about 2 to 3 million die annually. Quite a body count, bigger than World War II. Round about 70 to 90 million people have died unnecessarily, and have lived pain-racked shortened lives, because of this business plan, to farm sick people, and keep them sick to maximize cash flow. Pfizer website lists its therapies for nerve pain. None of them work, only providing temporary pain relief. This is more than quackery. It's deliberate injurious withholding of the only effective medicine, benfotiamine. And it doesn't get a mention here on Pfizer's own website. In Australia, there is a single tablet neuropathic pain medication from Pfizer which has a very high profit margin. Hence they need to cause people nerve pain. And they are doing it. And have done it for 30 years. There is virtually no profit on benfotiamine. There never is on unpatentable vitamins. Pfizer's false definition of diabetic nerve pain to maximize income from pain medications, link below this video. Notice benfotiamine doesn't get mentioned. The Pfizer website, linked below, was recently created to support a Sydney TV advertising campaign to try and drive nerve pain sufferers to their doctors to ask for the Pfizer high-profit pain medicine, the only diabetic neuropathic pain medication available, my endocrinologist said. Drug advertising is illegal in Australia. But there is only one Pfizer pain medication waiting for us when we visit our doctors, same all over the English and Spanish-speaking worlds. UK has about 4 or 5, so toxic, the user is advised to keep juggling the poisonous medications to escape serious side effects. All have a very high profit margin. Australian prescription listing, link below. Canada, link below. New York Times has no idea and spreads the ignorance. Linked below. What real news benfotiamine would be in the headlines. But that's not the real idea of a newspaper, is it, boys and girls? Link below. Australian prescription catalogue, one drug only from Pfizer, linked below. UK off-label anticonvulsants and anti-epilepsy drugs that don't work. Millions die of diabetic neuropathy in the UK, linked below this video. I have currently made a DVD of these benfotiamine YouTube videos to send to relatives in Fiji. Fiji Indians mostly die of diabetic neuropathy, that is diabetic beriberi. So do mainland Indians. Because Fiji people are so poor, they cannot afford an internet connection. They all have Bollywood DVD players and plasma TVs. Every second Fiji Indian dies of diabetic neuropathy, that is diabetic beriberi. Easily reversed with benfo. If they only knew, the DVD and downloadable printed notes can be passed from house to house at no cost. That's the plan. Dear viewers, by all means, add your own research to these findings, do your own presentations, in YouTube videos, blogs, webpage articles, etc. We need to get the word out at street level, amongst ourselves. You, dear viewer, can tell one diabetic person a week about benfotiamine. A good little social hobby for you, yes. Numerous linked fact pages below this video. I am also putting this stuff into Spanish. If the calculated deaths of tens of millions of people by a drug giant is not an ongoing crime against humanity, I don't know what is. The body count is massive and growing, soon to be greater than AIDS. One young person in 3 is predicted to be type 2 diabetic soon, and unnecessary death toll is organized and farmed by psychopathic big pharma. We need to get the word out at street level, amongst ourselves. You, dear viewer, can tell one diabetic person a week about benfotiamine, a good little social hobby for you, yes. It comes from a herb off the net, link below, looks like this. An ideal gift for a diabetic, priceless life-saving knowledge. On your feet, barefoot soldiers, internet activists, you have work to do. You can make a difference.